Many thanks for joining today's edition of Aso Briefing. I am Richard Alechenwanyebe. Our top stories. President Tinubu meets security chiefs, IGP at Aso Rock. FCT Minister Barrister Nyesom Wike inspects FCT projects to defend access to Eagle Square. Federal government removes import duties on electric vehicles, transit buses. You're watching Aso Briefing. Don't forget that you can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, and on Free TV, look us up on channel 507. On the UHF band, you can find us on channel 38. Now we go ahead with details of all our stories. President Bola Tinubu has held a security meeting with service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. The meeting follows the airstrike at Daily Market on the border of Borno and Yobe states. About 200 people, including civilians, were reportedly killed, while several others sustained injuries and are receiving treatment in hospitals within the area. The meeting, which began at about 2:30 p.m., also came shortly after the president's visit to Abuja following visits to Plateau, Ogun, Lagos, and Bayelsa states. President Tinubu returned to Abuja on Friday after the four-state tour, during which he commissioned projects and condoled with the people of Plateau over the attack in the Kuba area of the state. Those at the meeting included the National Security Advisor Malam Nuhu Ribadu, the Chief of Defense Staff, the Chief of Army Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, the Director General of the Department of State Services, and the Inspector General of Police IGP Olatunji Rilwan Disu. Presidency sources said the meeting held after the daily market strike may not be unconnected with the briefings by security chiefs on the incidents. And the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Aso Briefing, has expressed satisfaction with the progress of ongoing road and infrastructure projects across Abuja. The minister, who inspected several project sites, also addressed political concerns over access to public facilities. Our correspondent, Usman Katun Umar, also speaks.
The FCT Minister, Barrister Aso Briefing, says ongoing road projects across the capital are on schedule for completion, with contractors reaffirming their commitment to agreed timelines. Speaking after inspecting key sites, the minister said most of the projects, including roadworks and streetlight installations, are expected to be completed before the end of May.
I'm sure that everybody is happy that their poor mechanic will live where they are and come into this place. They are going to provide our infrastructure there. And they have also said that the company CGC is coming by the end of May. It will be completed, and they will start working on now the informal sector that Apple to move into the place. So very happy with what we have seen.
Barrister Wike also visited Gadua, where he directed the installation of protective mesh along road corridors to prevent encroachment by traders. At Wasa, the minister inspected a major facility designed to relocate informal sector operators, particularly mechanics, from unregulated locations within the city. Described the project as a significant step toward improving the working conditions of artisans, noting that arrangements are underway to facilitate their relocation once the project is completed. The minister further highlighted the administration's commitment to project delivery, stressing that timely payment to contractors has helped sustain progress across sites. On the commissioning of completed projects, Barrister Wike said the government would determine appropriate arrangements, including delegating representatives where necessary. Meanwhile, the minister dismissed claims that any political party had been denied access to the Eagle Square for its convention.
When you look at that behind all this, you ask yourself, are there really people who would really want to say they are talking about positive change? As I speak to you, nobody has written any letter. I don't know the very they are talking about. They have, okay, let's make an assumption that they talk about Eagle Square. Nobody, not one, wrote any letter to use Eagle Square. I called the GMD of AFC. There's nothing like that. There's no way we would deny them because we collect revenue from that. You have to pay, and nobody has written to us.
He maintains that access to public facilities remains open to all groups, provided due process is followed. Minister Wike also clarified reports on the Kogo bus terminal, stating that the structure did not collapse, but only suffered roofing damage due to heavy windstorm, with repairs already underway. Usman Katun Umar, Aso Television News.
The All Progressives Congress APC in Abaji Area Council has successfully conducted its ward congress across all 10 political wards through an affirmative consensus process, reinforcing unity and internal democracy within the party. The exercise, which took place on Monday, 13th of April 2026, was described as peaceful, transparent, and well coordinated. Party members across the world turned out in large numbers and actively participated in the process, demonstrating strong commitments to the growth and stability of the APC at the grassroots level. The World Congress Committee Chairman, Honorable Agaba Audu, supervised the exercise alongside representatives of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), who were present to observe proceedings and ensure strict adherence to laid-down guidelines. Stakeholders and party leaders commended the orderly conduct of the members, noting that the consensus approach adopted helped to foster unity, minimize disputes, and strengthen cohesion among party people in the area council. The successful conduct of the Congress is seen as a reflection of the party's commitments to democratic principles and effective grassroots mobilization ahead of future political engagements. The APC leadership in Abaji, under the guidance of the area council chairman and FCT APC senatorial aspirant Alhaji Abubakar Umar Abdullahi, expressed appreciation to members for their discipline, cooperation, and unwavering dedication to the progress of the party. They further reiterated that the party's resolve to continue promoting unity, inclusiveness, and collective responsibility as it works towards achieving greater success in upcoming elections. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has announced the resumption of both online pre-registration and physical in-person continuous voter registration exercise in the FCT effective 10th to 17th of April 2026. The one-week CVR exercise is for registration of new voters, transfer of voting station, update of voters' details, replacement of lost or damaged PVCs, and collection of PVCs. For the online process, registrants are advised to visit cvr.inec.nigeria.org, while for the in-person physical registration, visit INEC area council offices from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. on working days. Now, hundreds of youths in Aitoro Bede, Ijumu local government area of Kogi State, on Monday staged a protest over what they described as a politically motivated attempt to undermine the leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC). Its demonstrators, drawn from various youth and civil society groups, marched through major streets of the community, voicing strong support for the independence of the electoral body and expressing confidence in Professor Joash Ojoa Mopiton, carrying placards with inscriptions such as "Enemies of Fairness, Beware," and "Fair elections start with Amopiton." The protesters insisted that recent claims and rumors circulating on social media were part of a broader agenda to discredit the electoral system. The protest featured a large procession of youths on motorcycles and on foot, drawing attention from residents as participants chanted solidarity songs and called for the protection of democratic institutions. Speaking during the demonstration, a youth leader identified as Shegun said the group would resist any attempt to blackmail or weaken the electoral body. The federal government has reaffirmed its commitments to transparency and accountability in the public service as the Federal Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Development reviews its personal audits. Permanent Secretary Mahmoud Adam Kambari made this known during a meeting with ASGA consultants, noting that the audit aligns with directives to ensure credible staff verification across government agencies. The audit is aimed at improving workforce planning, eliminating discrepancies, and enhancing efficiency within the ministry. Consultants revealed that out of 350 staff, 310 were successfully verified, while 40 failed to participate. Key recommendations include re-verification of affected staff, removal of retired personnel from records, and resolution of discrepancies in the government payroll system. The ministry says steps will be taken to address all outstanding issues and strengthen personnel management in line with ongoing public service reforms. Now, the University of Abuja has offered automatic employment to the overall best graduating students of the 2022-2023 and 2023-2024 academic sessions. This was disclosed by the Vice Chancellor, Professor Hakim Babatunde, during a media conference to unveil activities for the 29th and 30th combined convocation ceremony in Abuja, where he said the decision was to encourage academic excellence and provide opportunities for the benefiting students to further their careers. Oluchi Jacinta Okorie tells us more.
Professor Fawaimi disclosed that a total of 12,624 students will participate in the combined convocation ceremony scheduled to hold this weekend at the university campus in Abuja.
We are indeed very proud of our graduates, whom we have trained not only in knowledge and skills, but also in character. As part of our commitment to the development and advancement of our graduates, it is important to announce to you that our best graduating students of both sets will be given automatic employment in the university to further their careers. This is in line with the academic traditions of the university as enshrined in the statutes establishing the university. We remain committed to developing the university in ways that will enable it to realize its aspiration of becoming a 21st century world-class institution. Under the intellectual context, the University of Abuja, which was established on the 1st of January 1998, was envisioned.
The Vice Chancellor appreciated the federal government for the peace and stability that had returned to the university after a period of leadership challenges.
That now the storm is over. We would like to thank the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, who is an organized and quiet operator, and the Honorable Minister of State for Education, Professor Shuaib Ahmad, for working with the visitor, Senator, the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, to stabilize this university. We also commend the Governing Council and management for working peacefully with the Academic Staff Union of the universities. The Council and management have resolved the long-standing issues, stagnation amongst our academic staff. As members of the press must have reported, many academic staff across ranks have been promoted, including associate professors and full professors, with several of the elevations backdated due to many years of stagnation. The chairman of the Governing Council, Senator Dr. Larry Tejuosho, has been particularly proactive in this regard. He deserves active cheers for being the brain behind the peace and stability we now enjoy in the university. Doubtless.
Oluchi Jacinta Okorie, Aso Television News.
Now, when Aso Briefing returns, we have more stories from you. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Stand up slowly.
Ura Adeleke abducted my friend to me.
My first name.
I will break this cigarette. Talk now.
The patient is having intraoperative seizure.
I'm sorry, but she's gone.
To Koinsola Adeleke, the new CEO, Frontline Gold Line.
You are watching Aso Briefing. Don't forget that you can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, StarTimes TV channel 127, and on Free TV, look us up on channel 507. On the UHF band, you can find us on channel 38. This news is also streaming live on our Facebook and YouTube channels. Now let's look right at the rest of the bulletin. Operatives of the Nigerian Police Force have arrested a total of 50 suspected criminals in a nationwide crackdown and recovered a cache of arms, ammunition, and other exhibits. Force spokesman DCP Anthony Okon-Placid disclosed this during a press briefing held at the Force Intelligence Department Intelligence Response Team FIDIRT headquarters in Guzape, Abuja on Monday. Here is the report.
In the briefing, DCP Placid said the arrest, arms, and ammunition recovery were carried out in a series of coordinated operations targeting criminal networks across the country, adding that they were part of ongoing efforts by the force to dismantle kidnapping syndicates, gun-running networks, and other organized criminal groups operating nationwide. According to him, the operations that led to these achievements by the force through operatives of the FIDIRT were carried out between January and April 2026. He disclosed that those arrested are linked to kidnapping, armed robbery, banditry, and other violent crimes, and highlighted some of the cases.
Within the period under review, that is from January to date, These operatives have followed up on several gun-running, kidnapping syndicates, clandestine activities, which have led to recovery of several dangerous weapons and illicit drugs, among other exhibits. Today, we will be highlighting 7 cases which led to the arrest of 50 suspects and the recovery of 17 rifles of various models, 111 live ammunitions of various calibers, 2 empty magazines, 17 live cartridges, 3 vehicles, 3 phones, 7 magazines, 5 walkie-talkies. Number 1 is the criminal conspiracy, kidnapping and banditry case, in which there's a suspect in custody, and exhibits recovered includes 1 FNC rifle, 1 empty magazine. And the facts of the case as follows. The operatives of the Force Intelligence Department, IRT, arrested 1 Musa Jubri in connection with criminal conspiracy and unlawful possession of firearms. The arrest followed an earlier operation on the 26th of December 2025, during which 1 FNC rifle and an empty magazine were recovered from the suspect. Preliminary investigation reveals that the suspect procured the firearm from 1 Bala, now at large.
The first public relations officer further disclosed that a major breakthrough was also recorded following the arrest of 33 suspects linked to terrorism, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and arms trafficking across Kwara and Kogi states, adding that the operations followed the 2025 attack on a church in Eruku, Kwara state, saying that recovered arms included AK-47 rifles, magazines, an anti-aircraft launcher, and communication devices. DCP Placid noted that investigations are ongoing in all cases, with efforts intensified to arrest fleeing suspects and recover additional weapons. He reaffirmed the commitment of the Nigerian Police Force to strengthening its investigative capacity and collaborating with other security agencies to combat crime. Richard Aleche Nwanyebe, Aso Television News.
The Integrity Group of Nigeria, also known as the Renewed Hope Agenda Ambassadors, has convened its National Executive Council meeting on April 3rd in Abuja to consolidate strategies towards the 2027 general elections. The meeting was chaired by the convener, Ambassador Dr. Oke Idawane. Here is the report.
During deliberations, Dr. Idawane praised the efforts of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration for bold steps initiatives, including fuel subsidy removal, economic restructuring, education stability, student loan initiatives, NYC empowerment schemes, and improved international recognition for Nigeria, describing the government as human-faced and working to restore Nigeria's pride among nations.
And FCT as of today. As of today, we can boast of about 5 million members by the grace of God, and our target is to give President Bola Ahmed Tinubu 10 million votes come 2027. Now, Integrity Group is a group helped by Allah, helped by God. A man helped by God is limitless. A self-made man is limited. A group helped by God, Allah, is limitless. A group that is self-made is limited. Face in the north, a face in Nigerian polity, you cannot keep quiet anymore. We are entering market season. Allow me use the word market season. What is market season? Electionary period.
In a keynote presentation, the group's patron, Dr. Dorcas Oka, lectured executives ahead of its national symposium themed Renewed Hope Agenda Through Continuity, where she outlined plans to showcase the achievements of the Tinubu's administration so far. Dr. Dorcas Oka emphasized that the group's activities remain peaceful and centered on unity and positive engagement, noting that their white uniform symbolizes purity, peace, and hope for a better tomorrow.
Made mention of an example that in your respective states, when you want to go out to make your videos or your exclamations, it has to pass through him so that it can be vetted, so that everybody is speaking with one word, one voice. Because once somebody is speaking with a different voice, it can counteract every other thing that we have been doing together. That is the essence of what? Of teamwork. So our role towards 2027 is focused on principles for Ahmed Tinubu. Is that not so?
Yes.
Hello? Our support reflects our values of transparency, accountability, and service.
Other executives who who spoke during the NEC meeting, commended the leadership strength of President Tinubu and called on Nigerians to support his campaign activities for 2027.
Similarly, the Integrity Group of Nigeria has convened its 2027 Symposium Summit in Abuja, the nation's capital, pledging 10 million votes for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 election. Again, here with the report.
Themed Strategizing for National Consolidation, Aso Rock No Vacancy. The summit was convened by National Chairman Ambassador Dr. Oke Idawene, where he showcased the Tinubu's administration's achievement, calling for support ahead of the 2027 general elections.
The Europe agenda is a baby of the president, and we are the proud ambassadors that have been tailored to ensure that come 2030, that we shall have a $1 trillion economy for Nigeria. Having said so, also it should be known that the president is ensuring that Nigeria gets better in the League of Nations. Now we are here to say that we don't change a winning team. Changing a winning team is an error. That is why the theme of this program is strategizing for national consolidation.
In a keynote address, the National Chairman of Progressive Congress, APC, Professor Nantawe Yilwazda, commended the group for the laudable initiative to galvanize votes for President Tinubu. Professor Nantawe, who was represented by Atta Pine, charged the group to mobilize Nigerians from the grassroots levels as well as stakeholders to champion the good policies of Renewed Hope agenda.
So, as we go about supporting this administration and political party, one important thing that we must take into consideration is how to harvest public opinion and mainstream them into public policy of this administration, so that at the end of the day, those who are not part of this political party will have a cause to believe that actually the government of the day is a listening government. That even though they are not members of the political party, their opinions are being harvested into the public policy machinery of the government.
On his part, the chief host of the association, Chief Uche Nnaji, said the group's activities are in line with the mission to uphold Tinubu's reforms, President Tinubu's reforms, and good policies which include fuel subsidy removal, student loan schemes, and building a stable economy.
One of the most transformative initiatives is the solarization program, aimed at taking our universities and teaching hospitals off the national grid. This is a bold step towards energy independence, ensuring uninterrupted research, improved healthcare delivery, and long-term institutional sustainability. In the space sector, Nigeria has made significant strides with the advancement towards the launch of multiple satellites. Nigerian Sat-3, Nigerian Sat-4, Nigerian Sat-5, and the first Nigerian SAR satellite, positioning the country for enhanced capabilities in security, environmental monitoring, agriculture, and digital infrastructure.
Other speakers highlighted progress under the Renewed Hope agenda of President Tinubu's administration and called for continuity so that the gains made so far can be consolidated upon.
The federal government has granted a waiver on import duties for electric vehicles and mass transit buses as measures to ease inflation caused by the ongoing Middle East crisis on Nigerians and boost affordability. The development is contained in a statement in an X post on April 13, 2026 by the Special Assistant to the President on social media, Dada Olusegun. Olusegun noted that the move was part of the new fiscal measures aimed at easing economic pressure on Nigerians and curbing inflationary pressures, following the President's directive to key economic officials. According to him, the Tinubu administration approved a broad set of import duty reductions to lower inflation, support businesses, and improve affordability for consumers. Under the new policy, import duties on electric vehicles were reduced from 5% to 0%, while mass transit buses were also granted the same full duty exemption from 5% to 0%. The policy measures also cover broader tariff cuts, like passenger vehicles from 70% to 40% to support consumers and industries. The move, he said, is to encourage cheaper public transportation and support cleaner mobility alternatives. And that story brings us to the end of Aso Briefing for today. Many thanks for watching. I am Richard Alechenwanyebe.